Hey guys, welcome to the trillion setup. So after you made multiple billions from my past setup, and if you're completely new to this is fine. This is a blue teleporter. You can use any kind of teleporter you want and a conveyor converter. So what we're going to do next is, since you've been making plenty of billions and you're ready to move on to making trillions per second, you do need a big budget for this, but go ahead and get cursed ore purifiers. These are 4.5 trillion a piece. And you're probably wondering why I'm going to get these even though they're super expensive. Is because this replaces the old system very quickly. You can have one or two, but if you do have one, then you're going to need a couple more of these to replace that. That's what I was looking for. Okay, so next what we're going to do is put on a ramp, and we'll set up our miners later to get our stuff in. And it doesn't matter what type of ore you use, because this is plus 40,000. So if you use opal, diamond, uranium, I recommend either diamonds or opal, because uranium is absolutely a massive block, so that's going to cause a lot of clogging. So I recommend using diamond or opal or something that's small and fast too. And you can just, yeah, those diamond mines themselves are also small, but not only that, but the ores are small, so that's going to prevent clogging. Alright, so next you need a ramp. So this is going to work for the way up high upgraders, which are going to upgrade it to 40 million. So go ahead and put a bunch of these down. Make sure it's going in the right direction. So yeah, it is. So I'm going to go ahead and set a bunch of these up. And again, do the math. Make sure there's properly a good amount of these. So once I get down here, it should get it up to 40 million. Do we have enough room? Okay, we don't. So I'm going to go ahead and use unstable conveyors. And again, you can use plasma ones later on when we get the portables in. But those are 1 trillion a piece. They're basically like military, but faster. That's why they're incredibly expensive. So I'm just going to use unstables here, just to get a nice turn out of it. And we're going to make this really, really large, all the way over here, so we can fit in those large ore scanners. Those are going to upgrade that to 100 million. And I'll put it in shields later. So let's see here. Large ore scanners. There we are. So this are digital ore cleaners. Why did I say large ore scanners? I have no idea. Okay. So this is going to upgrade it 60% until 100 million. And I believe I used 8 of these last video. So 8 should be plenty. Or maybe all the way until down here. Again, do the math, multiply it. So let's just do all the way down here, since that's going to be easiest for all of us. Can we do one more, perhaps? No, we can't, because we need at least 4 spots to get enough room out of that for the unstables and the shields. So I'm going to go ahead and add another corner to this. Whoops. And next, this is where things get complicated, by the way, guys. But this is an absolutely amazing way. Whoops, we're going to put shields right there, so I'm going to go ahead and rotate that. This is where we're going to put wide converters down. And you're probably wondering why are you going to use wide converters? I don't get what you're trying to do. Well, basically, what the wide's going to do is that it's going to send the ore in a certain direction. And again, this is cheap. And what these Pharaon Blast upgraders do is that these get it up to 500 million, 45% per upgrade. So you're probably considering, well, you can't upgrade it because it's in the middle, or if it's going to be a really low chance. What this does is that it hits the side here, and it goes through the middle just like that. That's really simple, guys. But your production is going to have to be a little bit slow, otherwise it tends to clump up and it'll miss it sometimes, but that doesn't really matter too much. So I think like 5 or 6 of these do if you get up to 100 million. We do the math real quick. Yeah, 5 or 6 of these will do. Okay, so next, after we get a 500 million, there isn't really much after you can do to upgrade these. So what you're supposed to do next is you probably want to get your game passes on, or even get your portables down. So we're going to go ahead and use plasma, or just use military if you can't afford that many plasmas yet. Again, they're 1 trillion a piece. And if you can't afford these either, any of this, these will still work pretty well. But you won't make nearly as much, because these get it up to 80,000 and it upgrades it super fast. So we're going to use a lot of plasmas down here, and then we're going to go ahead and put down our portables. And then go ahead and use your Game Pass stuff like, I keep saying that Pineapple Refiner's Game Pass, but it's actually down in the private island section. I should actually fix that, because I said that in the other tutorials, but I just realized that I just made a mistake. So we're going to go ahead and corner this. Da-da-da-da-da. And again, this is a huge conveyor system, but I promise you it's going to make a ton of money. I mean, we're already up to 500 million over here. Why am I still using unstables? I have no idea. Okay. Let's go ahead and use military because it does have walls, or just use more unstables, but you're probably going to risk the ore falling off. So I'm gonna have to see if this is enough room to supply 30 portables. Those are only 40 million a piece. They're really useful. They're 5% until upgraded 30 times. Excuse me. So I'm gonna go ahead and place these down. Alright, so before we get the rest of these portables in, I'm gonna go ahead and set up the diamond mine over here. I decided to use diamonds because they're the smallest, and that's gonna transport to this over here. So I'm gonna go ahead and put down a blue receiver, since that's a blue teleporter, and then put a bunch of diamond mines down. And we're going to obviously use plasma since we have a bunch of those. Again, use whatever conveyor you want, but obviously this is going to be most efficient. But it is pretty costly. I mean, I have like 50 of these, so that's 50 trillion already out of our pockets. So again, don't use these if you don't want to. Or upgrade later once you get enough money. By the way, this $1 trillion system does work much better if you have the Pineapple Refiner and Twitch upgrader. I'll make later videos on those, on how to get those. Not necessarily Pineapple, but like Twitch. That's a code that you have to put in. Alright, so let's buy a bunch of diamond miners. I don't have any of these because I got rid of them a long time ago. Alright, now that we have a bunch of those, just go ahead and place them down. Again, you can customize this however you want. This is your system, guys. It's not mine, but this is just to give you a general idea on how to make really good money pretty quickly. And then your trillions will lead you to the endgame equipment, which should get you to where you need to. And again, guys, if you want to make some extra money during this conveyor's running, which is really good, is once you get enough trillions from this system, go ahead and get some sacrificial cells and then put those around here, and you can make some really good money out of that. And another thing is, guys, go ahead and space this closer to over here, because obviously I have a little bit of room on the side over here. I just made it nice and wide, that way I had enough. So we're going to check out the system to make sure it works properly, and looks like it is so far. Doesn't look like it's hurting our ore limit too much, but we're going to go ahead and keep putting some more down. Alright, that should be enough because our ore limit is kind of getting really close. As you can see, these diamonds are really small, so they work really well. As you can see, it's exactly hitting the middle of these on all upgraders, unless if there's a clog forming. Like if there's a lot of these, which these diamonds are incredibly small, so they shouldn't in the first place. And it's working out really well. And again, put shields on your unstables, because I forgot to do that. We're going to do that later, though, while I set this up. So go ahead and set up more of your portables, and we'll get on to that. Alright, guys, so this is about 30 upgraders right here. So now it's time for your game passes or whatever you want to use. So we're going to go ahead and put a couple scanners down, which we're going to use these, which you can most likely afford because you already got trillions of things, so you can probably afford these. These triple value and have no limit, but you can only scan things once. I'm going to put 2 of them, so there's greater chance of it scanning, because it does scan around randomly. And the good thing about these diamonds, though, is that they're always in one spot. So I'm going to make sure that these are decently opposite. It's not going to hit every one of them, obviously. It's going to miss most of them. But if it does hit them, it's really worth it. Alright, so next, if you got your Pineapple upgrader, or Twitch upgrader, whatever you want to use, and also, forgot to mention, if you have a huge amount of points, go ahead and get the lunar refiners. These are 75%, up to 3 times of no limit, so these are majorly going to help out. So if you have a ton of points, I recommend getting some of these, and obviously we're going to have to create another corner, so I'm going to go ahead and do that real quick. And another thing about these lunar upgraders is that obviously they only work at night, so you are going to make a lot more money by night if that does work in your case. Alright, so next, again, if you have your extra stuff like the Pineapple upgrader, go ahead and put those down. Sorry if it's lagging quite a bit because the server is absolutely at a terrible speed right now. And go ahead and get a sacrificial altar as well. That's another trillion, and if you can't afford that, which you should have because you already got all this stuff, these are really huge, actually. So I don't even know if this is gonna fit properly. Let's go ahead and get rid of one upgrader. It's worth it to get 5 times for this, or 6. Is it 7 times or something like that? It's 7 times. So even though we had to get rid of one upgrader, which is 5%, instead of getting 5 times from Heavenly, we're gonna get 7 times from this. As you can see, this is already paying for by itself already. We're getting 100 billion to 800 billion a second, even a trillion a second if you get enough in at the same time. Again, it is kind of laggy. If the lunars do get in, however, you could probably be making 5 trillion a second easily. And I'm going to go ahead and wait for it to turn night, and then I'll see how much money this is going to make. Again, you do need points for these lunars, though. Pineapple Refiner, that only costs 10 Robux by renting a private island. You permanently get that. That's 100% with no limit. And Twitch Powered Upgrader, that's a code. That's 60%, no limit either. So I'm going to go ahead and wait for it to turn night. Alright, now that it is nighttime, as you can see, they're now purple. This system is now making 1 trillion to 4 trillion a second. Here comes a big clump. Just watch it. When they're active, they'll turn purple, glow, and also start shooting out particles. Again, server's laggy. That was 3.4 trillion a second right there. So I recommend using diamonds because they're super small and will not clog the system. Again, the server's laggy, so it's not really being the most proficient right now. But I hope you guys enjoyed that. Thank you for Masal for joining me. He's a YouTube fan. So don't forget to subscribe to my channel. Leave some likes. Leave some comments. Let me know what else you guys want. And I hope you guys enjoyed this, and I hope this was helpful. And remember the information that I said as well. I know it was a lot. Don't forget to add shields here. I completely forgot to do that again. Shields on all the corners. That's probably why I'm actually losing a lot, because all that is dumping onto the sides right now. But that's fine. I'll see you guys later. Thanks for watching, and I hope you enjoyed. Don't forget to check out my other stuff too, and join my Roblox group.